Hello, this is Nick from OrganizedRemains.com playing Worms Revolution. It's available on the PC, PlayStation Network, and Xbox Live Arcade for $14.99. For this review, I played it on the PC. I always look forward to a new Worms game, especially when the game is on a 2D playing field. I didn't think the Worms series could get any better than Worms 2 and Worms Armageddon, but then Worms Reloaded came out. I had an absolute blast with it, and I had hoped for the same great time with the new Worms game, Worms Revolution. Well, I'm glad to report in that I loved Worms Revolution. It felt like a modern take on the Worms series while keeping everything that made the series amazing. Before going into that, here's a quick introduction to how the Worms games work. For those who've never played one before, you select a team of worms and go against other teams of worms. You can move around with your worm using ninja rope, teleportation, and a number of cool gadgets. Once you get your worm in the right position, you choose a weapon like a bazooka, airstrike, or my personal favorite, the super sheep. Yes, I even like this weapon more than the concrete donkey. You keep fighting till all your worms are dead, or until all the other team's worms die. This is how the Worms series works, and it'll probably always work this way. Well, except for Worms Crazy Golf and Blast. What makes Worms Revolution feel like a more modern game is the addition of different worm classes, the use of water, and moving objects around. It also looks and feels like a more modern game. Things happen in the background while you play, and there's even somewhat of a narrative behind all these worms.
I've sent hundreds of worms into deathmatch arenas, and having a good laugh about it with those same worms afterwards is something I hope to do one day.
The new worm classes are probably the most game-changing element to the series. There are 4 different classes: Soldier, Scientist, Scout, and Heavy. Soldiers are normal worms, Scientists heal your team, Scouts move fast but easily hurt, and Heavies move slowly but pack a serious wallop! The new classes were a very welcome addition to the series, and they give you a ton of new ways to come up with strategies. Speaking of strategies, you'll need them. The campaign in Worms Revolution gets pretty tough near the end, to the point where I wanted to jam my keyboard into a paper shredder. How could that worm aim that grenade so perfectly? Before I did that though, I decided to check out the puzzle mode, which required even more strategy. It was quite fun for a while until I started getting frustrated with the harder puzzles. Maybe it's just my inferior ape brain that can't handle them. There can be no doubt though that these levels are tough, but they're still a blast to play. But all in all, the funnest part to any Worms game is the multiplayer. Even if there wasn't a single player campaign, and you just had the ability to play skirmish matches, Worms Revolution would still be worth it for $14.99. The single player only boosts the value to this game. There's so many options. You can choose different maps, choose what weapons you use, choose what dangers lie in your path, like mines for instance, and the list goes on. Final say, there's a ton to Worms Revolution. I really can't believe this is only $14.99. Grab some friends and play some Worms. The modern twist on the classic series really makes this game shine. The classes are great, the new use of water is entertaining, and the same old classic gameplay is and will always be fun to play. Get Worms Revolution. This is Nick from OrganizedRemains.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us at OrganizedRemain. No S at the end.